I want to highlight some of the common traps, common schemes, common pitfalls that can take out a marriage, and all prompted by the devil, of course, because if you're a believer, especially if you're a believer, he wants to destroy your marriage, destroy your family. And so we can't be ignorant of his schemes. And I've worked with hundreds, literally hundreds of wives over the years, over like 15 years of ministry, and I've just noticed these common schemes where actually the marriage implodes and ends up in divorce. So we want to avoid falling into those schemes and those pitfalls, right? In fact, I like how 1 Peter 5:8-9 puts it in the Amplified translation. Be sober, well-balanced, and self-disciplined. Be alert and cautious at all times. That enemy of yours, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, fiercely hungry, seeking someone to devour. Resist him. Be firm in your faith against his attack, rooted, established, immovable. So let's become immovable. Let's get alert to his schemes and then be immovable. We're not going to fall into the pit that he has dug for us. So here's scheme number one. Allowing yourself to connect emotionally with someone other than your husband, a man other than your husband. And this happens so easily, so subtly. Usually it starts innocently. It could be that you're having some marriage problems and you think, oh, your best friend's husband could give you some advice. But see how that opens up this door for the enemy to start linking you emotionally with this other man who seems so understanding and compassionate. Or maybe you decide to, kind of just check up on an old boyfriend or even ex-husband on Facebook. Like, well, I wonder what's up with them. Starts innocently, but maybe you do connect, and then they ask how you're doing, and you say, well, I'm fine. Our marriage has had a few troubles. And they say, well, what kind of troubles? And pretty soon, you're starting to share some deep things. They're emotionally bonding with you, being compassionate. Be on the lookout. The enemy is trying to connect you emotionally with another man. It could be your coworker that you're going out to lunch with. It seems so innocent, but over lunch you just start talking about things. It could take years even. The devil's very patient. It could take years for you to bond with this other man emotionally, but once you bond with another man other than your husband, ooh, it's a slippery slope. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump to a full-blown affair and the ultimate destruction of your marriage. So be aware of that common pitfall. Pitfall number two. Oh, this is so huge. Believing your marriage should be like the romances on the romantic comedies and in the romance novels. I've actually sat with quite a few women who are just almost ready to divorce their husbands because he's not tender enough. He's not their best friend. He's not empathetic and compassionate and romantic and all these things. It's like, okay, but does he go to work? Does he go to church? Well, hallelujah. That's amazing. Is he a decent dad? Well, that's spectacular. But we have this idea, and I think it's just in our Western culture and all these, romantic comedies we've watched, that this man should be like so tender, a compassionate listener, want to listen to our deepest feelings and then knock our socks off with romance, slay dragons during the day and make a ton of money at work, but then come home and just be romantic and tender and right? And your man cannot be that perfect. So cast away that vision in your head that your husband should be like the lead actor in the romantic comedy. Third little pitfall to avoid, and this is super, super common, it leads to so many divorces, letting resentment bloom, letting resentment grow instead of addressing and working through the issues that are causing the resentment. This means you need to actually stop shoving everything under the rug if you're a conflict avoider. You need to stop stuffing your disappointment, your frustration. You need to actually work through the issues. And if you need help doing that, you see a counselor. You don't leave these issues unaddressed, because if you do, that resentment becomes very toxic in your marriage. It grows and grows and grows until the whole marriage explodes. Here's a verse that can help guide you. Ephesians 4:26 and 27. In your anger, do not sin. Do not let the sun go down while you are still angry, and do not give the devil a foothold. Yeah, when we don't work through the issue, when we just keep on kind of shoving it under the rug or stuffing it, it gives the devil a foothold because resentment starts to bloom and becomes toxic. 3 pitfalls to avoid in your marriage.